Hello, welcome back. This time I'm going to remember to start the timer. Okay, now let's see if we can find her hideout.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could see the shoes. At the start of the wearer's turn, they gain plus 20% dodge until the end of round. Do you have any shoes? Yes. You definitely have shoes. You have shoes. You have shoes. You don't. So it's between Ivan and her, so Ivan gets the shoes.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see. There will be no peace in my wake.
Yeah, we already been to the dark hideout. That's not the hideout we're looking for. I would go and ask for directions, but it wouldn't be a hideout if everybody knew where it was.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
Oh, warehouse, not... Let's see what's in this warehouse. Is this her hideout? Yes.
What lies beyond?
Hey, what's that?
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Yes, can I help you? Yes, why are we here?
In the shadows of the Imperium's ignorance, my genius blossoms. Oh, how they fear the brilliance that eludes their narrow vision.
Oh!
I am powerless to act. A genius at work.
Oh!
Another annoyance.
The Emperor is with us!
There's so many combat servitors. And explosive barrels. Well, this warehouse is probably not going to be left standing after we're done here. Is that everyone moved? Yeah, this is about as far as you can move.
Cover me! Was that you? Or...
That was what I was kind of expecting to happen when I saw there was a combat
I will
server.
bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. Faith without deed is worthless.
I'll do it.
As the Emperor commands.
Indeed.
I'm afraid not. Me? If you insist, Lord.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Okay, note to self, that makes barrels explode. Curse of Rust. This toxic substance relentlessly corrodes any armor it touches. Oh dear.
My vow is to serve. Running binaric override.
Okay, who can you see from here? Can't see you, can't see you. Can see you. Can't see you. Well, let's just have you hit that one, then. First of all, let's...
A wicked thought.
I should probably do this, use this.
Let's see. Ah, new note in discordant melody.
Go, and then let's make you stronger.
At your beck and call.
I was kind of hoping that was going to do better.
I will do my duty. It will be done. Brace yourself, Avalon!
I'm shooting her in the back of the head.
No! These ruby flashes are choking me.
We would, if you would stop hitting our people.
I'll show you why navigators are feared.
Request approved. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Combat is an equation. Your life is a negligible variable.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? I never felt painted blessed.
Oh, that's why we couldn't do anything. That was because she did that on her.
Just a minor setback.
I know what is to come. On it. Nothing. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone! Doubt is for the weak. In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. This is why I was chosen. As the Emperor commands, none can escape the Emperor's judgment. I'll do it. Blessed be the hand of the healer.
Okay, and
Do not dare ask. I have read tomes of military tactics.
good for you. Stare at them.
Duty demands.
That poor guy. Please don't tell me you shot one of us again.
Explorators know one route. Forward.
I won't sully myself with that. Oh, the storm approaches! A wicked thought. Even I won't do that.
Oh, I wanted to do that one. Oh, that's probably reason why we don't got any bullets.
Indeed. It will be done. I've suffered worse.
There we go. Now, don't use the on.
Never quite fair.
Maybe we should get out of the poison smoke. There was 5 of you. Two, 3, 5. Think the Exalted One. Those Ash mags didn't have time to make off with anything yet. Jay carefully inspects the containers emblazoned with markings from some unknown freight operator, then smiles and touches the comm bead in her ear. Give me 2 minutes, Shireen. I'll send the coordinates to my loyal crew, who will deliver my property somewhere else. And done. Jay removes her hand from her ear and turns to you. We're good. And now, how about we relocate to more pleasant and private spaces to discuss the details of our deal, specifically payment for involved. Wait, where are you going to leave your precious cargo here? I hope your vaunted wisdom is worth all this trouble. Nothing to worry about. After all the ruckus we've caused here, I doubt anyone will go anywhere near the containers. I am, however, infinitely flattered by your concern for my, now our property. Try to reply when you hear the sound of many footsteps behind you. Stop right there in the name of— oh god! I don't think they're gonna do so well anymore. Halt right there! Steps into poison. Right there in the name of the leash, the gaunt, pale-skinned man in grimly ethereal robes glances at you and immediately falls to his knees. Your excellency, please forgive my most noble Ivan. I never expected to encounter such eminent persons in this corner of Footfall. Most noble excellency, Joe pushes her lips slightly and shoots you a confused look. I am a personal agent. The man hesitates, choosing his words carefully. I came here to remove from criminal circulation a shipment that distribution of which is banned in the lands of Footfall, horrendous Xeno heresy that has been fraudulently delivered to a bastion of the Holy Imperium. He looks at Jay. I no doubt for a moment, most noble Ivan, that your presence here is merely a misunderstanding brought about by another manipulations. Succeed. It is too great a coincidence that the Liege representative should arrive in Chowtek just after Jay has recovered her rightful spoils. It seems that the guards report the problem with the shipment over the Fox, and not to just anyone, but to the personal agent. Turkia knew about the shipment from the start and planned to take it for himself and get rid of Jay if he could. Behold the grubby, underhanded struggle between cold traders, and had not been for your impromptu deal striking the bar, Jen might have succeeded. Dari, the owner of this cargo, is presently under my protection. Under a rogue trader's protection, tell your master that he should think twice before crossing her from now on. This cargo belongs to the Monsters, its lord. You are trying to encroach upon the property of a void trader. Yeah, rogue trader, not void trader. Don't forget to tell him that I'm not mad, but I will be collecting the debt sometime. Watches him hurry away, then he looks at you. I wish I could see Vladim's face when he finds out he almost stepped on the toes of one of the most powerful people in the Expanse. Listen, Ivan, I'm generally sorry about this confusion. Vladim and I have our difficulties, but I never thought he would clean me out and do away with me in some dark corner, at least not so soon. If you hadn't agreed to our deal, Serene might gang and I would have already be floating in space around one of Footfall's asteroids. Execute! Alright then, this isn't my first year in the Expanse. It's not my first year in business either. I've sat at the negotiating table with all sorts, not just loot hunters or smugglers either, but with Xenos, one's intelligent enough to believe that mutual benefit was a better outcome of our meeting than mutual destruction. I believe what the Ecclesiarchy has to say about that. I know what the Ecclesiarchy has to say about that, but speaking from the bottom of my heart, I know where the line is between an ordinary deal and a betrayal of humanity, and I never cross it. There are no chance encounters when you are loved by the Exalted One. I like you more and more too. Winks and flashes you a captivating smile. God blessed one bless you and your entire dynasty. I wouldn't say no to making the occasion properly. It's not every day you embark on a brilliant new business partnership. Look, approach. You sullied the Vanflist's name by inviting people like her into your retinue. Lord Captain, the decision is yours, but do not be surprised if unsavory rumors start to spread on Footfall. I'm more concerned at that noise! It is a strange circle you are forming around yourself, rogue trader. Sister Argina gives her an almost lecherous once-over. I've heard all about your deeds on Footfall, but I never would have guessed there was an angelic beauty behind all the idle gossip. And while we're at it, Serene, when were you going to reveal your true identity to me? I am infinitely flattered by your attention, but if I had known I was talking to a dread, not an envoy of one, I wouldn't have shown some decorum. Guilty as charged. You're right on that one, so I guess I'm in no position to criticize. Either way, I'm entirely willing to join your retinue from now on. My knowledge and expertise are entirely at your disposal. Oh, and one more thing. If you're interested in a lucrative offer, one that can give the Von Protectorate a leg up. I say now isn't the time to be thinking about such things, but once we get back to your ship, perhaps you could spare a minute, Shireen.
Ugh, my faith shields me.
Okay, everybody, out of the poison!
We'll see. Oh, yes, indeed. They all will see.
Okay, so she's also an arsonist and a officer. No, I wanted this one. I made you Master of Tacticians, so we'll make you a Vanguard. Why? Because I'm probably just gonna be leaving you in the ship most of the time. Will not die. And you are... You're nothing! You don't have Dogmatic, you don't have Heretical, and you don't have Iconoclast. Interesting. Okay. And since you don't have anything, you can't really use much. Oh! Oh. Huh. Equip. Cargo. You're just gonna be our dual wielder. Let's just put that in cargo because I'm never gonna use that. Let's see. You don't have that ability. Let's do that. We have so much stuff. Okay, right. We're going to switch to you, so we can give you the new hand flamer. Cargo. So I was not expecting this. Well, her job is going to be running into the enemy, full guns blazing, and if she cannot get in, and then occasionally give a turn to someone else. Yeah, I guess that's everything. Serrated great sword. It's better than what we have already. No. So let's just add to cargo and do the same with the Mastercraft Power Maul. Might as well do the same with the flamer and the bolt pistol. And to be fair, while decreasing all characteristics by 10 until the end of combat, does not stack. I'm probably just gonna put these into cargo and never use them. Doesn't feel right that nobody has a grenade. Okay, you don't need anything. You don't need anything. You need a lot of things. So much papers.
Searching is my observance.
Yeah, what I'm gonna be... Wait a minute, what? Is she still here? It's not. What I'm gonna be doing for our psyker lady is she's gonna be the, one that I'm going to be shoving into the battlefield with a shotgun from now on. I'm just gonna have her be on the front line with a shotgun running at them with said shotgun. She is our sacrificial lamb. Our sacrificial psyker.
Let's make a deal.
And when she's not in the party, I'm gonna be swapping out a lot of people. She only gets, this one only gets to be swapped in if I can't use the, she needs to be swapped in or I can't have our, navigator.
Curiosity sings in my veins. One step at a time amidst the madness.
And I do believe that is the last thing we can do for now. Because there's only one place we have left to go, and that's currently blocked off. So I guess we'll just be leaving this... the, station.
There will be no peace in my wake. What lies beyond?
Gimme, gimme, gimme. There you go. So now we're all the way up to 9. How much longer until we get that sniper rifle? Quite a bit.
Sherry,
You can have those shoes. Like I said, your job is going to be backup sacrificial. Familiar figure turns to you. Hicks Van Horrocks, Interrogator of the Ordo. Zeno spouses said respectfully, Lord Captain. Honor Interrogator was surprised that you perchance leave something in your cabin. Not at all, First Officer Restraint. I'm not in the habit of leaving a trail, but I thank you for your concern. I also said with him a smile, I'm glad to hear that my presence aboard your ship did not leave you with any unpleasant memories. I hope your disposition won't change once I've explained the reason for my visit. I was able to contact my mentor and report the tragic events that transpired on Rector Mineros, and I received some information from my agents regarding the movements and actions of enemies of humanity, including the Xenos that we're assuming were involved in the theft of the star. According to their findings, the threat now hangs over other worlds. This time, yours, Lord Captain. Goes his throat and begins in a pretty efficient tone. By the order of Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calzar, whose duty is to stand sentinel over the ground expanse of the rope trader of House Valence, is to take on board the agents of his host's position to provide escort and support in deeds great and small, the service to safeguard the territories of the Imperium against its enemies. This decree is effective immediately upon announcement and reserves and effects until decided otherwise by his absence. Never of your verbiage you just released upon me. The Lord Inquisitor deemed that my presence aboard your ship and in your retinue would be sufficiently more beneficial to the fight against heresy and evil than my return to my mentor's side. Our parting before our arrival on Footfall was premature. The cause is the activity of humanity's enemies, including the cult of the Final Dawn. In my absence, the situation in crimes has changed. I have received an exhaustive report from my agents. This heresy is taking root in the region where the Von Flints' world lie. You probably already know about the fate of the industrial world of Gamma. If not, then I will share the details I know, but not here. Better to talk on board, where we will not be overheard. Reserve not an answer, preferring a righteous servant of the Emperor. If duty has brought you aboard the rogue trader ship once more, then such is the Emperor's will. Welcome back, Interrogator. Thank you, sister. It is an honor to be traveling with one of the blessed Adeptus Sororitas. Inquisitor, Van, you've never mentioned you socialized with such distinguished servants of the Emperor. I bet it takes someone truly remarkable to warrant such imminent and close attention. It's over here until it says slightly. Mistress Haydari, even ever since my first visit to Footfall, I've been hearing about your colleagues in personal talent, but I'm afraid your full name escapes me. Would you kindly refresh my memory? Laughter gets stuck into her throat. A pale, slight, but still forced and apologetic smile. I don't mind, Serene. Let my full name remain not but a stray sound to your plan and a plain and interesting one. Master von Calyx is brimming with genuine joy, which he immediately hides before a facade of highborn primeness. Since you are with us once more, I do hope you will find time to finish our conversation about the literature works of Cornhilla the Blessed. I will make every effort, Lady Rosilio. I must deliver this to you. The Lord Inquisitor specified that the contents of this envelope are for your eyes only. I would ask you to read it as soon as you have time. That is everything for the time being, as you head to the ship, or do you still have business on Footfall? Whatever the case, I can either wait for you on board or accompany you as part of your retinue. God damn it! I just got rid of the weapons! Like I said, I wish we would have known this a little bit sooner, but... Now you don't have any gloves. So you can have these. I don't think you need these. What does your cape do? Right, yours is a good one. And I'm pretty sure the sword that we put in our cargo is gone. No, we still have it. What do you have? It's what? 7 to 18. And the power maul we just got is 10 to 17. And you have the shotgun for your other one, right? Yeah, the faux hammer. Wait, you have a biomancer's staff. How do you have that? The sword deals an additional plus psi rating damage. So it doesn't have a plus anything. Why not we'll keep it like how you are, the one with the or should we give him the other one? Actually, before we decide, what features do you have? Okay, we'll leave it what he has.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Look after the inspection of the ship system is complete. The tech priests are reporting the machine spirit are calm and satisfied. Everything is ready for onward travel, except there is an issue you must be made aware of. Makes a quick, nervous gesture, adjusting the adornment over her third eye. I have been studying the records left by the vessel's previous navigator. I wanted to triple check the route to Duragnus and discover that it does not match the ones recorded in the Atlas. It is more than a minor warp fluctuation. The route has been wiped out. It can no longer be used for travel. To make matters worse, I started checking the paths from the Atlas, one after the other, and saw the same thing everywhere. The warp is roiling with an ominous storm. Bristling with vivid and screaming colors, it will not hinder our movement, but all previous knowledge is now utterly useless. Then again, our knowledge was already useless, so this doesn't change much. Angry chops the air with the side of her palm. Warp storms are our enemies, just like heretics and demons. It's a shame they can't be dispersed with a flamer or a bolter. Now we can be certain that the problems with astrosphere communication is the chronospecs are no coincidence. There's a warp disruption in your way. Lord Captain is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. That means you need to locate the keyword for the Von Valentis Directory as soon as possible. I'm talking about Janus, Doragos, and Gamma. Charting new routes as they can be reached and restoring control will take the necessary step. The surface of Janus was altered stressfully so the planet could be designated as an Agni world. It is a powerful food base, comparable of supplying the burgeoning protectorate and exclusive precisions to outer worlds at the same time. Janus owes much of its prosperity to the governor house of Aviat. Under its leadership, the world has grown ever more prosperous year after year, securing shipments and taxes while keeping the workforce tightly controlled. This real world, Kavas Gamma, is being managed by the Governor House of Gaprak and supplies your protectorate with rare minerals, resources. Additionally, the planet features an Adeptus Mechanicus manufactorium that processes material and prepares it for shipment. I testify that Kavas Gamma is a world marked by the Omniscience patronage. By its grace, the manufactorium of the colony are inhabited by committed and industrious machine spirits. Mistress Toyam neglected to mention that the Gamma Factorum also supplies heavy machinery from forge harvesters to vessel systems and components. Your displays commendable knowledge of our world, Manufactorian, capably of Onlix. Pleased to be of service. It's the heart and soul of your protectorate. It is where the main administrative resources and storage facilities are, and so is the Von Flintz's Palace. If you would like to know, this is where you will publicly accept the title of Road Trader. Driggs is a major administrative hub that runs the cargo fleet and keeps track of finances. Rediscovering the activity will supply our protectorate with something none of your servants can do without: sustenance. The importance of basic supplies should not be underestimated. Just look at Footfall, it is current pitiful state. On the other hand, I am certain by the rumors containing Gamma there would be no problem on Janus for many years, but something is very wrong with the industrial world right now. Delay may cost us the entire planet. I trust that I do not explain the capital world. Losing it would make us the laughing stock of the other dynasties. Besides, the loss of chronicles and ledgers would spell a bureaucratic catastrophe, so all the systems are equally vital to the protectorate. It falls to your decision which should be brought into the fold before the rest. That is all, Lord Commander. The vessel and the crew await your instructions, are ready to depart Footfall immediately, should you so desire. Okay, who were the people who wanted to talk to us? Oh, they're no longer T-posing. Okay. It doesn't tell me what the fuck we're supposed to be doing. But get in the bag anyway.
Greetings. Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the Sacred Warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Drops her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping structure on the warrant, a seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hands left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. Why is it this voiced? If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me. With the flames of fury and righteousness, if thou seest a light in me, grace me. If thou seest a plea of mine, bless me. Wrath of fury and of righteousness. Voices soreness as if made for singing hymns and prayers, but right now she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion is she. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to the servants of thine, and run to foes of thine, a fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes, remains silent for a long time, with her hands raised high. Slowly, like the first licks of flames in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. When she opens her eyes, they are uncanny resolve. Rogue Trader, we need to talk, or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth about how I ended up on Funflitz's ship, about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I tell you my story and everything, and you'll see why. Pauses. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguarding was already well protected by the Reverend's mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its solidness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodore heard of your head of your dynasty approached. She became an agent of divine will in a way. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was a little interest, a feral world away from the Covenant warp routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. The description of Solus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very familiar to a world from an ancient legend. The legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Argenta, the living saint. She is my patroness. The order named me after her. She died millennia ago. When heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even though blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the one star from the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place for the saint's remains, would only allow the true righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when the flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly I found myself named after the saint. Come across this information, I realized at the moment that it was a portent, and I must journey to the planet and find the ship. And so I asked the Reverend to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodore's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Solus Prime. Apologies, I got carried away. I forgot to explain the one star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I believe the order Princess, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The one star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knows where it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at time calls it a banner, or a set of armor, or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost with Argenta's death. Defeat. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though according to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by pure heart can find it. When I did expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet, I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know St. Argenta's hagiography by heart. I knew all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the description of mountains and rivers from millennium-old tales, and I was certain that I had found a way to the ship. And then when we were attacked, the words we heard of the heretics' shrine on Footfall, something about ways, doors, please, dressing to some lord, the edge of daybreak. Shaking it with disgust. They were the same words they were spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Solus Prime. My whole unit perished, all those honest, brave people I had lead to search for the relic. It was only by a miracle that I did perish along with them. I didn't connect those events at first. The cultist on Footfall, the cultist on Solus Prime, the cultist attacking the ship, and Conrad's betrayal. What is these are all linked to the same chain? What is they long since infiltrated the ranks of the volunteer servants? What if I led these heretics to the sacred planet with my search? I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Conrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora, supported me in my efforts to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine the venture must have the Vulture must have figured out it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium, and what could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic. Oh yes, I certainly hope that we will meet him again. The Serpent needs to answer a few questions before he is plunged into cleansing flame. Theodore's people received the distressed skull, came to my rescue, and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened when they arrived. I was already severely wounded, fighting back with every remaining strength of mine. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me into the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump Theodore had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. Yes, Rogue Trader, I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the archenemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists, and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthwith with you, so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption or the light of righteousness. A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultists of Footfall. She smiles as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends rather than a bloody battle. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk to the orphans at my request, a leader who's willing to honor those who laid down their lives for them, take care of their children, is a leader who inspires trust. And the way you acted in that moment. To remember, there was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence. You didn't turn a blind eye to his misdeeds, but you chose the right words to show him the path to redemption. It was harsh but necessary. Like the Emperor's truth, like bitter medicine that helps the sick. I learned much about you in that moment, Rogue Trader, and I want to believe that I wasn't mistaken in my judgment. Yes, I rushed to Theodore the moment I could walk again. I insisted that going back to the square to defend the relic was from the heretics, but I was told that the warp drives had destroyed the old route. That the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet, and plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort, as there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down the arch enemy. In any event, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator, but now we have a new lead. The data that we've collected in the cultist shrine on Footfall, I don't care what the reprobated we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me undertaking? Will you help me find the sacred relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? The accursed final dawn is involved again. It is my duty to help you. That cult must be reduced to ashes. Searching for ancient ships and relics is an exciting prospect. Of course, I'll help you. So be it, Rogue Trader, as I stand here before the warrants of the embodiment of the Emperor's will, marked by his own hand. I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished, and may the light be with us both on this path. That's 1 out of 3 done. Time to talk to the other two. But first, let's put some of this stuff away. And hopefully, there's nothing new. I don't see anything new, other than our good old-fashioned orc skull. Everything seems to be in place. No, get in there. There, put all this stuff in there too. There, now we have much more room. He does not look like he's having a good time.
To what do I owe this visit? Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Looks like he's about to smack Ivan with that power maul. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a great time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship. Lord Captain, your enthusiasm is commendable. The interrogator smiles, but his eyes remain cold. To business then, the cult of the final dawn, the madmen preached their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Koranos Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. We're well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Ivan. Yes, initially our arrival in the Koranos Express was directed by the need to fight Xenos, but there is more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the full truth someday, but right now I ask you to display humility and patience. That's correct. I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised the Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of soul and mind, even if someone who's recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. Chaos Ropers, most often agents of the throne, run into lone renegades, stirring up the rebel, insane prophets and hysteric visionaries preaching the end of days, a passing comet, and mutant rebellion and onslaught monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effect and the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne were spent before we established the connection between these heretics. However, the cult of Vones is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune tellers. They clearly spend their agents all over the Koranos Expanse, disseminating heresy amongst honest people on the Imperial worlds. There is a certain strategy in their actions that changes whenever we get too close, and finally they have enough military power to have had the two ships that we had sent after them later discover as wreckage. The growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us, but it's unlikely to convince those who engage in vile sorcery day in and day out. After the events of Mineros, I suspect the cult might have built its nest inside this domain, but the latest reports indicate it is yours protector that is harboring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chance of getting closer to their secrets. Return should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Gamma. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine the cult is planning and how it's intended to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even followers of the Omnissiah themselves. I will be frank, the answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually goes beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more trouble consequences. One of the systems in the Chronos Expanse is already lost. May the Emperor protect us when we're watching this tragedy play out again. I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later. Ivan, Chaos Marine siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently, pulling their puppet strings from a respective distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Space Marines in the Chronos Expanse, and not an entire company. Will anyone throw their weight around the world, be they certain? Can an aspiration for a person who holds the fates of billions of people and dozens of imperial worlds in his hand, which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planets, lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled up in their roots. The Drakari, one of the branches of the Eldari, an ancient and vicious Xenos race. These creatures are a living terror to ordinary people who fall prey to their rabbits. For the same reason that the victims are not killed outright, but instead become their playthings, just as you and I need air to survive, the Drakari need psychic energy born from torment and pain, which they extract from their captives with uncanny expertise. The ships, which are difficult to mistake for any other, arrive suddenly and undetected. Well, I mistake them for chaos ships and the Imperium spear vessels. So, yeah. Then again, I don't know much about ships other than Necrons, Tyranids, and Orcs. Those are the only three that I really know anything about their ships. The rest of them, I know they all look. I can tell them which ones are which close up, but from a distance, long pointy ship. Then again, there are ship types like what we have, which I can definitely tell, and the and Astarte ships, I can tell those ones. Their stealth technologies greatly surpass the capabilities of the Standard Imperium Augury Array. The objective of their raids is never to capture a ship, world or a ship. No, they only interested and fresh victims. After filling their holds with living captives, they disappear into the webway, a different dimension which conceals their greatest stronghold, Camarag, the dark city of the Drakari, for which none can hope to escape. Well, the webway is technically like tunnels through the warp, which I do believe there is a book that's made out of flesh, that its veins, its ever-moving veins tell you where the webway is, like where the webway gates and where they lead to are. I don't remember where it is though. I think it's on an Imperial world. This is your expressions. I do not know why the Drakari stole Wrecker's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's prophecy. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played into the archenemy's design, or perhaps Aurora's definitions, in fact, describe the Drakari's actions. There is only one thing I can say, the absolute certainty: there is no alliance between the cult of the Final Dawn and Xenos. It is simply impossible. Technically, no. There are some Xenos races that, then again, they're usually just minor races that are on planets. usually undiscovered by the Imperium, or have come to sentience since they were lost, that worship chaos. So technically, there are Xenos that would work with the Cult of the Final Dawn. It's not an impossibility. The jointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Additionally, not long ago, a vessel from the world arrived, and followed the reports from the crew were confusing and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion. Let me put it in this way. You may think whatever you want of me, but my goal is not to hinder you. I am here to help you in the fight against foes you may not even be aware of. Well, you've already helped us figure out our next destination, so... You have my word that I will provide every assistance in uprooting the heresy that has sprouted on the Von Valencius worlds while their master was away, and that I will try to be more patient with the less grievous flaws the bearers of the warrants are sometimes known to have. Look, I just blew up an entire planet. Well, I've made the planet uninhabitable. Which was probably a lot better fate, considering their sun was gone. You have to imagine how much that's going to wreak havoc on a planet. Losing that gravitational pull that goes around that star. So that means the other planets that were in the system and whatever else was orbiting that is now in free orbit, basically. They're going to be shooting around until they get caught up in something else's orbit or they crash into something. Bends his head. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. This skull makes me want us to have an orc game where we climb up the ranks as a boy all the way to a war boss. I don't know why, but that skull just makes me want one of those. Because we do have an orc game, but that's less... But one's a squadron game, and the other one is not what I described it as. The other one's just you beating the shit out of somebody because they took your squig hat, your squig hair. I guess that would make him... No, he's not the biggest. Oh, there you are.
Allow me to thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Sherin. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Sherin. I will watch your back, if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted? It is difficult not to be aware of the powers that be, especially ones like Lord Captain Theodora. But we never met personally, as the difference between our positions was far too great. Theodora was a mighty ruler, the center of her own universe. And I, a pathetic commoner, was nothing next to her. But you were kind to me, Sherin. And in my eyes, that puts you above your esteemed aunt. Or whoever she was to you.
Kidnapper! Technically, she kidnapped me. Well, she kidnapped Ivan, technically. Or purchased? Request? Ivan's a psyker. Which, you know, they're not really that easy to get a hold of.
The dark side is the real Coronis Expanse, if you ask me. But what do you want to know about it, Sherin? Dynastieres drink with criminals. Rogue traders strike deals with the Casbalica. And dozens of ships stop off for a welcome break from a long voyage. Is there a more beautiful place in the entire Imperium? The Emperor is merciful to the meek and the powerful alike. There's a job for everyone as long as they have a head on their shoulders. And if you feel like talking to him in person, the statue of the Exalted One can be seen from any asteroid. You can pray to your heart's content. It really is simple, Sherin. The Kasbalika runs the Imperium's black market, offering special goods to those who can afford their services. Yes, I am talking about Xeno artifacts too. Alien weapons, technology, sometimes even certain kinds of living creatures.
Well, I just realized... Did he see the Xenos that they were keeping there? Yeah, whatever.
Unlike the rogue traders whose sacred warrants make them immune even from the laws of the Exalted One, Kasbalikan agents are used to hiding and covering their tracks. Nobody wants to draw unwanted attention, no matter who might take an interest. Especially now that the Coronis Expanse has a warrior of the Golden Throne as its watchman.
I mean, the Inquisition probably already knows what's going on in Footfall. They probably just can't spare the resources or the time to go over there.
Why not? The decision is yours, Sheri. The language on Ifrit, my home world, is quite different from the one spoken in the Coronis Expanse. We bestow more than one meaning upon each word, allowing our wise men to fully express their sagacious thoughts, and us lowly commoners our base passions and desires. Take Aji, for example. That is what I call every piece of scum and villain, because Aji means evil and foe and pathetic worm unworthy of consideration. Or take Ashmag. It means fool and little brother and blind man who stumbled and would fall into a pit without guidance. Shireen means friend and comrade and roommate in a battle formation, like we are. Oh, Shireen, I did manage to spark your interest. Allow me to invite you to a more private place. My words are meant for your ears alone.
Everybody wants to see the Orc Skull. The flickering lights of dozens of candles play across Jerry's face, making her smile, her small smile even more mysterious. Shireen, the Exalted One himself, brought us together the day you crossed the threshold. He led us to the cargo and gave his blessing for its return. Do you know what people on my world say when such a thing happens? What's gained is to be shared with your neighbors. Wanderer's Portent and Bloodseeker's Clave? She points at the container in front of her. One contains a polished Eldari rifle, a rare model, and the other holds a Nordich sword. I am sharing what I gained with you. Please accept these humble gifts in honor of our wildly successful, though suddenly struck friendship. To be fair, if I was a rogue trader, I probably would have a lot of Xenos weaponries. Not to use, but as trophies. Just like how we have the Orc Skull as a trophy. We probably even have some Necron technology on this goddamn ship for all we know. We have a lot of things on this ship which we don't even know is from. Might as well add it to the pile of weaponry we have. I know you would appreciate the Xenos' mastery of their craft. Beams at you and curls a lock of black hair around an augmented finger. So, the matter I want to discuss with you relates to my business. You know that I sell Xeno artifacts to interested Imperial subjects, and the Imperial trinkets to Xenos. Business is going well. My network runs even without my precipitation. But when it comes to expansion, well, that is where I hit a wall. Every time I look at her portrait, I think these, like, 3 things right here are her fingers, and she's putting her hand, like, around this thing on the portrait. rivals, envoys of my success. Throws up her hands. Falco, especially, I am certain the theft of the cargo was his doing, but I can never predict what the Ashmag will do next, and while the Imperium authority may be fragmented in the expanse, it could crack down on people of my profession at any moment. Salted one for Fanged. Could such a lowly servant of the Empire use the radiant bearer of the warrant to lack so cruel? The other way around, however. As a rogue trader put in a good word for me with the servants of the Instrumentorum, I would become an official trade representative of the Imperium. Just imagine a little scrap of paper will offer me and my agents protection against Ashmag's schemes far better than any reflector field. And even the Inquisition will have to think twice before they mess with me because I'll be a representative of the law in my own right. No, they will not think twice. A rogue trader, maybe they'll think twice. And that's a very loose maybe. Because you really don't know how high the Inquisition is on the Imperium docket. If you think they'll think twice, with you being a sanctioned traitor. When it comes to the Order Xenos, they probably wouldn't even think at all. They wouldn't even think first. Because gene stealers could be in your cargo hold for who knows how long. And then, let's see, what else would be there? And, Ordos Hereticus, could easily just do it as well, just to make sure that there's a, for, like, an expansion for cultists. But then again, that would just depend if they have the time or care. And the best part of it all is that I will cost you precisely nothing, Shireen. All you have to do is stop by the Administrative Palace and obtain a certificate from the Master of Seals. My informant tells me that the palace is located on Duregnus, your capital world. You see how everything is aligned so wonderfully, and of course, I will repay you in kind. Here's the thing. Regardless if you become official or not, your competition's still going to hit ya. So regardless of what I say, nothing will change. Apart from how the Imperium blind eye will look upon you. When the eyes of something like an Inquisitor or a Zealot or others who are in the dark path, or basically any Xeno, there's a lot of people who will not give a shit. The only person who would probably care that you have this, like I said, is probably just the average bureaucracy person, and Imperial citizens, and the Planetary Defense Force. I think that would be about it. Like I said, I think. All this just kind of comes to knowledge from my other experiences with Warhammer, such as the Inquisition being one of them. My time playing with games at Xenos is a lot in them. And then also me reading up on lore and stuff. We're in the dark, cruel future. And it's ever getting more crueler and more darker. I mean, the entire Milky Way has been split in half. And one's being basically one's being supervised by Papa Smurf, and the other one's being supervised by the eldest space marine. That is not chaos. Exalted One, bless you, Shireen. I can't find a better business partner in the equal expanse. Friendship is a gift from the Exalted One, and we must cherish it. And you will have no complaints about our friendship, Shireen. I may not be a trade representative of the Imperium just yet, but I still help you with whatever you need. You must have some factions in mind that you would like to establish relations with. The Severins, the hot-headed pirates. You merely need to use the right words, like a key for a lock, and people open their hearts or their wallets. I will arrange everything you merely have to ask. Okay, this is something I need to look up now. Because, I don't know who that top one is. Not Rouge Trader, Rogue Trader. I am the Red Trader. I trade in everything that's the color red. Oh, that's a crime syndicate. Okay. Because we already have these guys with us. We already have a lot with the Adeptus Mechanicus. Then we have these two. Wait a minute, what's this? You'll gain 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. It's like 6,000 for any of these other two. I wouldn't put that into the Adeptus Mechanicus, because I like them at least. Promising and my people want a good word for you and the right circles. I will humbly wait until you steer your vessel towards darkness. The Mercatum Office is almost as majestic as the warrant of trade. Well, that's going to be the last planet we go to. Because the first planet we're going to is where the Inquisitor wants to go to. Like, I'm pretty sure this over here is like some elven thingy. Yeah, I won't be surprised if this is Dark Eldar. That is an Eldari pistol, just right there. That's an Eldari weapon. Yeah, so we already had Eldari stuff on this ship. Sniper rifle? It's last, it's an Eldari weapon. It's just as good as what we currently have, but... Okay, so it does Deadeye shots. Information. This rifle only performs Deadeye attacks. Whenever the wielder scores a critical hit with a single shot attack, they gain an additional attack this turn. armed with a 50% bonus to the effective range of a weapon and a 10% hit chance. Well, for this, does single shot do anything? Nope. So, this is better than we currently have, just because I have an item that ties with it. Which I should probably use, instead of the pinpoint visor. Where is it? Put it in here. Oh, here we go. Target designator. When the wearer hits an enemy with a deadeye shot, it reduces the enemy's deflection by 1 and +1 exploits until the end of combat. Oh yeah, now I remember why we didn't have that equipped. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. Because that'll help. And I already got the thing for the intelligence modifier, boosts it up. How close are we to a level? We only need about 300. And archetypes. You are bounty hunter. Okay. Okay, so next level we'll get Eldari weapon proficiency. Because another good thing about Eldari weaponry is they actually work really well with Psychers. So for example, him, this would do a lot of good for him. So next, wait a minute, what? Oh, that's a servo. I was like, where the fuck did this thing come from? Oh, it's just a background thing. So yeah, this is going to him. Actually, now that I think about it, don't we have some more of these type of stuffs? No, not the power sword. Let's just take this back out. See if we can give it to him. Here we go. But yeah, we'll call it there, and in the next episode, I guess we'll just fly around in space. Until then.